For artist Lalla Essaydi, it's no wonder that North Africa is her primary inspiration. She was born in Morocco and raised in a traditional Muslim harem where the wives and daughters lived separately from the men. The experience is reflected in her work, which is on display at the National Museum of African Art here in Washington. VOA's Carolyn has a look.
Considered one of today's most provocative and engaging visual artists, Lalla Essaydi pushes the boundaries of Arab, Muslim, and African perceptions of women's identities with her art. The themes of gender and the private inner lives of women permeate her work. The exhibit at the National Museum of African Art features about 30 works drawn from the artist's paintings and photographic series. Essaydi confronts deeply entrenched historical beliefs about femininity and womanhood through images of the Muslim world. Her work challenges perceptions. Essaydi, who grew up in a harem, sees her work as intersecting with the presence and absence of boundaries, of history, gender, architecture, and culture that mark spaces of possibility and limitation. She is exploding myths by contrasting her paintings to original stereotypes that are now considered a cliché.
What I try to do is to deconstruct these paintings through my photographs, and these paintings actually they have three very important elements, which is the veil, the odalisque, and the harem. This photograph is the third part of part of the series of the third part of the triptych, and it is shot in a harem in Morocco, and the harem is a place where women, it's a space for women within a household, and it's also a name of a group of women. And the word harem comes from the Arabic word haram, which means sin. So what I'm trying to do, not only I am trying to deconstruct these Orientalist paintings, but I'm also trying to explore that thin line between woman as a space, woman as a woman, and woman as a sin.
Essaydi's work draws on Arabic calligraphy for its decorative and communicative potential. She says it has become her trademark.
It became my signature of writing on the women. I write with the henna, and the text, it's mine, and it's based on the story of these women and my story as well. And so it is autobiographical, but it is also written in a poetic way because poetry and calligraphy is considered high art.
She also explains that her work is about exposing myths.
The myth that I'm trying to expose in all these paintings, and this one included, this is the Grande Odalisque by Ingres. And if you look at the original painting, the woman is nude, and there is a voice, and there is also the part of her feet and the part of it becomes less sexualized than if you look at the original painting. But I think the voice is the most important thing. The text is the voice of the woman and the gaze.
Essaydi says there is a message in the text.
It's about our story and about how we engage with Western tradition and art history and the role that we're supposed to be playing in that art without even, being used without us knowing about it.
The Moroccan-born artist named her work La Femme Du Mal, a take on the famous Delacroix La Femme.
They took a domestic space and they made like a public acts with it. The women are sexualized in there, and then there is the maid servant, all these tropes of the other ones, the other Orientalists, that they never visited any harem.
Essaydi hopes her work engages viewers to think for themselves.
I don't want to state everything for them. I want people to think. I want them to be intrigued and to really try investigating and trying to understand the culture. So that's my hope, that my work will achieve something like that.
Today, Essaydi commutes between Marrakesh and New York. Her work has been featured internationally in museums and in private collections. Her exhibit will be on display at the Museum of African Art through February 2013. Carolyn, VOA News.